What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be showcasing all 5 of the new episode Heresy weapons being added to Destiny 2 with the launch of Heresy Act 2. We're going to be diving into what perks they can get and determining their PvE and PvP god rolls so you guys know what to farm for. And so, let's get started. Now, in case you're wondering, Heresy Act 2 launches tomorrow, March 11th, and we're able to look at these weapons perks right now because they're already available in the database. In this case, we're using light.gg. Alright, now let's get started here with the refusal of the call. By the way, decide to turn on the camera so you guys have something more interesting to look at than just the webpage, something more handsome, more chiseled. Admittedly more pale, right? It's been a cold winter. I better not see any comments about it. All right, but anyways, the refusal of the call is the first ever strand glaive in the entire game. It belongs to the adaptive glaive archetype, and taking a look at the perks here, you do have stuff like, first of all, impulse amplifier, then you actually do have slice. Using your class ability is going to let you sever targets. Well, if you're fighting a more powerful enemy with your glaive like a boss, being able to have that guy do less outgoing damage is actually really good. Then we have tilting at windmills, so when you're blocking damage with your shield, it's going to increase your movement speed while shielding. Then we've got Envious Assassin to improve your magazine size. Then we've got replenishing Aegis to get ammo back when you're blocking. Then we have Discord, super interesting one, guys. Final blows with another weapon is going to activate this, and then when you switch over to this glaive, as long as Discord is active, final blows refund ammo, which means you can go infinite with just using your projectiles and just slaying out and never having to get more ammo. Kind of crazy. And then we do have auto loading holster. Moving on from there, we actually have a brand new perk here, melee momentum. Melee final blows with this weapon granted bonus energy and provide increased movement speed while blocking. This is an absolute wombo combo with tilting at the windmills. If you get both of these perks together, you could be absolutely schmoving while blocking. Like, are you gonna go sprint speed while blocking with your glaive? Like, that's kind of crazy. Then we do have Vorpal Weapon, pretty blah. We have Unstoppable Force, blocking increased projectile speed. We actually have Sword Logic, which is a great way to improve your outgoing damage. Then we've got Close to Melee, get a projectile final blow, improve your melee damage. I like this quite a bit, actually. We have Disruption Break, and then we have Beacon Rounds, which is gonna give you like homing shots. Then importantly, guys, we're going to go over it now because it's the first weapon. We do have those 2 different origin traits. We have Willing Vessel, dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon, granted increased stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate, and it decreases over time. But we also have Runneth Over. Reloading near allies overflows the magazine, and bows receive faster draw time, swords receive faster charge rate. Remember, Runneth Over is going to come on those special pre-masterworked versions of these weapons, and all of the new Act 2 Heresy weapons can also get like all those different rarity tiers. They can be adept, they can be pre-masterworked, they can be adept pre-masterworked. So in terms of what roles to go for, honestly, Slice is looking pretty cool. Again, reducing outgoing damage when you're up close and personal, meleeing guys with glaives is pretty darn good. Because this is the only strand glaive, it's also the only glaive in the entire game that can get slice. And Discord is also incredibly cool here, just again going infinite. Either of those paired with just a good perk in the right column, Sword Logic, Close to Melee, heck, Unstoppable Force, even like any of those is just going to be a solid roll overall. And then Melee Momentum plus Tilting, that's definitely a cool combo as well. The main draw here, guys, for wanting to get this weapon is, again, because it's the first of its kind, the first ever strand glaive, and that already gives it quite a lot of desirability. Now, moving on from there, guys, the next weapon we're going to look at here is going to be the Mir Imago. Now, this is a legendary strand submachine gun. Now, this is an adaptive frame 900 rounds per minute archetype. We sometimes see 900 RPMs be lightweight frames, which gives them more movement speed, but not this one. So taking a look at the perks here, guys, you have what you would normally expect in terms of barrels and then, you know, magazine extensions and so on. Then you do have the new recycled energy perk. Reloading is going to give you more ability energy. Subsistence can be very good in PvE. Then you have Grave Robber to get ammo back for melees. Pugilist, unfortunately, they're in the same column, so they're competing to give you more melee energy. Then you have To the Pain here, guys. Then you've got Moving Target, and then you also have Overflow. Then in the right column, you do have Hatchling because this weapon is Strand. Then you've got Target Lock to improve the damage. Then you have Swashbuckler to improve the damage with more melee synergies. Then you've got Sword Logic for the damage increase. Then you do actually have a Permeability. Using your class ability changes this weapon's damage type to match the equipped super until you stow the weapon. Interestingly, we don't often see this on like strand weapons. We usually see this on just kinetic weapons, so it's kind of interesting to see it here. Then you've got Offhand Strike, guys, and lastly, you do have Unrelenting for healing. So honestly, not too much is standing out to me as like unbelievably broken. Overflow is just incredibly good for PvE. It really is, especially for a primary. Every time you walk over special, you double the magazine size, right? And it also instantly reloads. So if you have 1 ammo, you walk over special or heavy, it will reload it and also double it, which is pretty crazy. Combine that with like Hatchling for strand synergies, Target Lock, Swashbuckler, or Sword Logic, anything to increase the damage there, and you've got like a rock solid SMG for PvE. Now for PvP, I mean, you could go, people are liking To the Pain apparently, and then you could easily combine that with Target Lock, which has been pretty effective on SMGs. In fact, it's so effective it needed to be nerfed, and then I think Bungie kind of undid a bit of the nerf, so that absolutely could be a bit of a wombo combo, but again, there's not really anything I'm seeing here that's blowing my mind. You also do have Pugilist plus Swashbuckler. Swashbuckler giving you a big damage increase if you get a melee kill, and Pugilist giving you melee energy back. This could be a little bit of a melee focused wombo combo right here. Kind of the same with Grave Robber and Swashbuckler as well, honestly. And yeah, those are the options for this weapon. Moving on from there, guys, we've got the Amnemesis and Mnemonis. Now, this is going to be a Void combat bow, and it is a lightweight frame, so this is the faster draw time, which is very desirable, guys. Now, in terms of the perks here, we got some juicy ones. We really do have some juicy ones. We have everyone's favorite Archer's Tempo to improve that draw time. Then we do have Dragonfly, so get a precision hit, cause that elemental explosion. Then we do have Successful Warm-Up to again improve the draw time. We've got Hipfire Grip. We do have Repulsor Brace, so defeating a Void debuff target gives you an overshield. Then we do have To the Pain, and we have Perfect Float. Now, after that, we have Destabilizing Rounds. This is arguably like the best perk in the game right now for PvE. It's absolutely shredding through enemies. It gives you such easy volatile rounds. It has massive synergies with all of the other Void focused seasonal artifact perks. Incredible perk here, guys. And obviously, anything that provides the Void debuff itself, like Destabilizing, combined with Repulsor Brace, is quite the wombo combo. Cause volatile rounds and make enemies volatile, give yourself an overshield. Very, very good. And then we also have Demoralize. So this is, everything I just said is kind of the same thing, except for Demoralize is going to make precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened, right? So you can also combine this with Repulsor Brace to get an overshield every time you do kill that weakened target. So either of these is super good for Void synergies. Then you have Adagio for damage increase, you have Impulse Amplifier, you have Sword Logic again, then you have Moving Target, and lastly you do have Explosive Head, which I really like. Unfortunately, guys, like all the best Void perks are in the right column. If Explosive was in the left, like Explosive plus Destabilizing, oh my god, it'd be the best bow in the game, I think. But still, I think Destabilizing plus Repulsor Brace or Demoralize plus Repulsor Brace, that's kind of the PvE role you're going for, because remember, Willing Vessel actually improves the charge rate of this bow, so you can kind of get away with not using something like Archer's Tempo. However, if you don't care about the overshield, right, Archer's Tempo plus Destabilizing, or Successful Warm-Up plus Destabilizing, or again, potentially Demoralize, also great combo. So a lot of incredibly good Void combos here for PvE. Now, PvP, you probably do want archers or successful just for that. You really want the fastest shooting bow you can get, and then you can combine that with, hey, sword logic. Honestly, Adagio might be a little bit juicy, and some other options here. I think the main draw of this bow is towards PvE for sure because of destabilizing especially. But moving on from there, guys, the next weapon we have here is going to be the Afterlight. Now, this is a Void fusion rifle belonging to the Adaptive Frame 660 charge time archetype. Now, taking a look at the perks here, guys, in that left column, Under Pressure, kind of a PvP all-star. In fact, so much of an all-star, it was nerfed, so maybe not anymore. Then we've got Grave Robber here to get your ammo back on melees. We have Lead from Gold here. We have Discord again. Then we've got Offhand Strike. We've got Ambitious Assassin, and we've got Pugilist. Then in the right column, we do have Reservoir Burst. So when the battery is full, your next shot will do, I think it's like 25% more damage and cause an explosion. This is very good, but it has to be combined with certain perks. So Reservoir Burst, for example, plus Ambitious Assassin, which is going to like massively increase your magazine. That means every single shot up to your normal magazine cap is going to trigger Reservoir Burst. So already that's a pretty deadly combo. Then we do have Swashbuckler here for a damage increase. We have Adagio here for a damage increase. We have Cornered here for a big draw charge time, increase. Then we have Vorpal Weapon, who cares? Then we have Successful Warm-Up here, and we do have Destabilizing Rounds. Now, I do think it's a lot better on a primary like bow like we just saw here, but there's no questioning like absolutely cranking a Destabilizing Rounds fusion rifle shot into a group of adds is going to be pretty devastating. You can combine that, with Ambitious Assassin or especially Discord. Again, Discord is incredibly juicy here, guys. Like if you can consistently activate it, every single Destabilizing Round shot from your fusion rifle will just refund the ammo. You can go infinite with that. You'll never need to go and get special ammo. That is actually pretty crazy. So that could be a really juicy PvE combo. Not to mention, for consistency, Lead from Gold, so you have a ton of ammo all the time, plus, again, Destabilizing Rounds as just a great ad-focused fusion rifle is a pretty good combo. And especially since fusion rifles are so juiced right now thanks to particle reconstruction. Now, for PvP, I think you're probably going for Under Pressure in the left. There's a bit of an argument for Discord or Offhand Strike, but it's probably still going to be Under Pressure. Combined with, honestly, Cornered could be an option, giving you that massive increase to charge time if you're surrounded, but again, you have some decent ones. Successful Warm-Up for the improved charge time. You also have stuff like Swashbuckler and Adagio for damage increases, or honestly Vorpal Weapon, right, to improve damage against Guardians in their super. There's nothing here I'm seeing that's like absolutely blowing my mind. Again, Successful Warm-Up plus Under Pressure is like pretty decent, but now that you only spawn in with like one round, stuff that activates after the kill, you know what I mean? So definitely some decent options here. Again, I think there's some pretty juicy combos in PvE revolving around Destabilizing Rounds that I think is going to be the main draw for this weapon. But moving on from there, guys, the last weapon we're looking at today is going to be the Division. Now, this is going to be a legendary arc sidearm that belongs to the Heavy Burst 325 rounds per minute archetype, so a 2-round burst. Taking a look at the perks here, guys, first of all, we have Perfect Float, then we've got Eddy Current for improved reload speed, we have Hipfire Grip, we have To the Pain here, we have Pugilist for melee energy, we've got Grave Robber, and then we've got Encore. Honestly, nothing super crazy for PvE in this first column here, but in the second column, we do actually have Volt Shot. So again, Arc is a featured element this season. If you can jolt targets successfully, you have the Dielectric, a seasonal artifact perk that's going to give you more bolt charge. That's not bad. Then you've got Kill Clip here for more damage. You've got Sword Logic here for more damage. Man, Sword Logic is just on everything. You've got Swashbuckler, again, for more damage. You've got Offhand Strike here. Then you've got Eye of the Storm. And then lastly, you do have Surrounded. So overall, in terms of PvE, in that first column, again, there's nothing that's really like absolutely blowing my mind. You could absolutely go with like Eddy Current to again improve your reload speed. It improves when you're amplified. Well, that's gonna be pretty easy if you pair that with Volt Shot. Like, you're gonna be getting amplified very, very quickly. And then you just have a faster reloading Volt Shotting sidearm, right? But after that, it's kind of going to be Pugilist or Grave Robber. They do have some synergies here with Swashbuckler for sure. And then that's kind of it. Like, it's really just going for Volt Shot plus Eddy Current, I think, or going the melee synergy route, or just using like a good damage increasing perk, Sword Logic, I guess. Surrounded is a pretty darn good damage increase, actually, if you are surrounded. So yeah, nothing really absolutely blowing my mind here. Then for PvP, you do have some interesting options, right? Like, you have To the Pain. You also, honestly, Hipfire Grip and Encore are getting a little bit of love these days, just depending on what you can do with them. And then in that right column, again, you have stuff like Sword Logic, big damage increase. Hey, Kill Clip, big damage increase. Eye of the Storm, definitely, especially on console, gonna help you win those duels because it's gonna massively improve your handling and your accuracy, guys. So you have some interesting combos for sure. You have to be someone who likes sidearms, who likes those heavy burst sidearms. You know, True Vanguard is probably gonna love this thing and do some insane work. But again, if you're not someone who likes sidearms, I don't really see this being for you. Overall, guys, it's just kind of interesting. I mean, like, definitely Willing Vessel really does work with Volt Shot and Eddy Current. That's going to improve your reload speed even more. If you're going for Runneth Over, that's actually a bit of a nombo. You don't want to have a massive magazine size with Volt Shot. That would be like if you are going for the surrounded role. So just keep that in mind, guys. Depending on what your origin trait is, your preferred role might actually change. And that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.